Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally doing a tutorial that I've been wanting to do for a while. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I decided I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do this. I am sleep deprived and I probably won't make complete sense. I will do my best, so please bear with me. But I just really wanted to get this video up. A lot of people have asked me how to apply false eyelashes for downturned eyes or droopy eyes. I know that that can be really difficult to do because whether it's eyeshadow, falsies, liner, they can all actually make the droopiness of your eyes more exaggerated. And so how do I apply false eyelashes to help open up the eyes and make them look more lifted? And that is essentially what I'm trying to explain here when I show you how I put on my false lashes. I am by no means an expert on applying falsies or even like all the techniques for downturned eyes, but these are just some of the things that have worked best for me. These are actually just some false lashes that I got off of the Wish app, but they're very, very similar to the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes, which I love. They're actually my favorite drugstore lashes. I love them because they're wispy and they're pretty and they're long, but they're not so dramatic that they look super unnatural, if that makes sense. Like they have that long glamorous look to them, but they're not super thick and they have that natural wispy look to them. So I love that. These are very, very similar. They also have that tapered look, and I think it really depends on what look you're going for. It doesn't matter what kind of lashes you want to put on, because essentially it's all about what you prefer. But if you're looking to make your eyes look more lifted, I would suggest using a tapered lash, so a lash that starts out shorter on the inner corner and then gets longer on the outside. It kind of gives that like lifted or cat eye effect. These aren't super tapered. You can find ones that are more tapered, and you can also find ones that are shorter than these if these might be too long or too dramatic for your taste, but these are the ones that I'm loving using right now. I love this Duo Lash Glue. I used to get the Duo Lash Glue in the tube that you'd squeeze out, and once I started using this, I was like, why did I ever use that tube? I would always get way too much on my lashes. It's so hard to get a really thin line of glue, which is what you want to do when you're applying false lashes. You don't want tons of glue on the eyelash because it just ends up being a sticky, goopy, horrible mess. And so this Duo Lash Glue, it's the brush-on adhesive, is a game changer. So I highly recommend trying that if you're really struggling on getting just a little bit, not too much glue on your lash band. So it comes with a little brush like this, and see, like, super easy just to get the tiniest amount on that band. It's really easy to be precise about it. So highly recommend getting this for applying lashes. I like using this or the tweezers. I usually just use whatever one I grab first. These ones are nice because they're technically made for applying false lashes. It's just easy to place them on the eye, and it's also easy to press your lashes with the falsies and kind of blend them better, as opposed to tweezers, which, you know, might be a little bit more dangerous since they're, you know, sharp edges like really close to your eye. And then I always have a pair of cuticle scissors handy to trim the lashes. I've never applied false lashes without trimming them. One of the biggest things that you want to do when you're applying false lashes is make sure that they fit your eye. If they're too long, then they're just going to make your eyes look even more droopy. The more you have out here hanging down, the more droopy they're going to look, and the more you have in here, the more annoying they're going to be, the more they're going to pop up. It's just not good to have them too long. And then of course you're going to want some mascara. So as you can see here, the lashes are on this sheet here just like they would be on your eyes. So if I put them next to my eyes here, the inner corners are right here in the center and the outer corners are right here on the outer side. And so when I take it off, I want to make sure that I remember which one that I'm grabbing. So I'll go ahead and grab my right eye first. And when I take the lashes off, I always start on the outer edge because I know I'm going to be trimming them anyway. So if I accidentally like rip a couple of the lashes here on the outer edge, it's not going to ruin them. But if I do that in the inner corner of the eye, then I'm going to mess up that whole tapered look. Grab at the outer edge. Try to get the band as opposed to getting the lashes, and then just slowly pull them off. And you can see I totally already messed up a couple of the lashes here on the outer edge, but it's okay because I'm going to trim them anyways. So this lash here is going to be on this eye. Now when you take the lashes off, I would suggest kind of working with the band, just working on curving it, because when they come out they're pretty straight, and trying to apply straight lashes on eyes, especially downturned eyes, is really difficult. They're just going to pop up on that inner corner every time you try to push the outer corner down, and vice versa. Another reason why I like using these wispy lashes is, as you can see, the band is so thin. I don't like using thick bands on my lashes because I do feel like it's a lot harder to apply. I feel like you need more glue, and I also feel like it just doesn't bend and flex as well when you're trying to mold it to your eye shape. So that's another suggestion. If maybe you're having a hard time with your lashes, maybe see if the lash band's really thick, and then try using a thinner band and see if it's a little bit easier for you. Then I'll go ahead and take the lash and place it on my eye and kind of see how much I need to trim off. So when I hold it on my eye, I kind of like the inner corner to start right about there. I don't want to go in too far because it irritates the heck out of me to have the lashes in there too far when I can see them all day. It just itches, and then they also like pop up too much. So I like to start about right there, and then you can see here on the outer edge there's a good maybe 1.5, maybe even 2 sections that I need to trim off here on the outer edge of the eye to get them to not be too long. You can always start by trimming a little bit first and then putting it on your eye and testing it out, and then trimming off a little more if you need to. That might be a better idea than trimming off too much. But because I've used these lashes many times, I know how much I need to trim off, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Always want to make sure that you're trimming the outer edge of the lash and not the inner edge of the lash, because you don't want to ruin that tapered look. I usually trim off about 1.5 sections here, so I trim off all the way to this next bunch here. So hopefully you guys can see that. Just like that. Sometimes I'll come in and trim a little more if I want to, but that's usually works just fine for me. And then you're going to take your lash glue. If you turn it sideways like this, and then you just kind of run it along the lash, it's a lot easier to have control over it. So that's all I do, just to get a really thin line of glue. And then I just make a point to put a little more on the inner corner of the lash and the outer corner of the lash, and those are the parts of the lash that tend to pop up more, so just adding a little bit of glue there helps that not to happen as easily. You want to make sure that you give the glue at least 40 seconds or so to get tacky before you put it on the lid. If you don't do this, it's going to slide all over the place, it's not going to adhere to your lid very well, and then that's probably one of the most challenging things for a lot of people, is they're like, I can't get the eyelash to stay on. It's probably because your lash glue is not tacky enough yet. So I'll hold on to it, I'll blow on it 40 seconds or so. Once it's nice and tacky, then you can apply it to your lid. Now that it's tacky, what I want to do is I want to grab the lashes with those tweezers, and you want to turn it up like this. When you put the lashes on your lid, you don't want to put them on like this, because it's going to just make those lashes stick straight out, and that defeats the whole purpose of wearing false lashes. I'm assuming most people want to wear false lashes to make the eyes look more open and to make their lashes look longer, and the way that that's going to happen the easiest and the best is by bringing them down this way. So you bring them down onto your lid. You want to get as close to your lashes as possible. And I always try to start right in the center when I'm applying the lashes, and then work my way in and then work my way out. So once it's in the center, then I just slowly move along my lash line, trying to get really close to the lashes again, but not actually gluing my lashes. And then I just go all the way to that inner corner, and once the inner corner is placed, then I start here on the other side of the center and just gradually push it down until I get all the way to the outside. Another trick that I do for downturned eyes is I will, on the very outer corner of the eye here, when I'm placing the lashes, I like to lift it up just a little bit higher than my natural lash line to help give the illusion of a more lifted eye. It looks crazy right now because I haven't put my mascara on and I haven't pressed my natural lashes with the falsies yet, but you'll see here in a minute that it actually really helps give the illusion of a more lifted eye when you do that. I really focus on staying as close as I can to the lash line all the way into the outer corner, and then when I get to the outer corner of the eye, I just bring it up just the slightest amount. Then I'm going to come in with my mascara. And the reason why I come in with the mascara before I press my natural lashes in with the falsies is because once the mascara is on, it's a lot easier to get your lashes to stick with the false lashes. I don't worry about getting any mascara on the falsies at this point because it's more just about trying to make my lashes look blended in with the false lashes. Because my lashes are blonde, I want to make sure that I'm getting all the way down to the bottom of my lash line here so that there's not any weird like light gaps down there. And then once I've applied the mascara, as you can see, there's still a little bit of a gap out here. And so I'll give my mascara a few minutes to dry, and then I'll come back in with those tweezers and I'll press my lashes in with the falsies just to help them blend a little bit better. All right, so now I've given my mascara a few minutes to dry, and I'm gonna grab my tweezers and I'm going to press the false lashes together with my natural lashes. So I start here on the outer corner and I just squeeze. And I do that all the way to the inner corner. And then there you go. My lashes are blended with the falsies and there's not that weird gap anymore. Really, that's it. I have naturally pretty curly lashes, and I know that some people don't, and another complaint that I've heard a lot of people say is that their lashes don't have enough natural curl to help keep the falsies lifted, and so they end up going kind of more straight instead of staying up. And one thing that I recommend doing is just grabbing an eyelash curler and curling your lashes with the falsies together a few minutes after you've applied your mascara. You take your eyelash curler. You want to be careful because the lashes are a little bit longer and more dramatic than natural lashes, that you get all the lashes in before you press. If you don't get all the lashes in, you're going to have some wonky ones that are sticking out in weird directions because they're not getting curled with the rest. So I usually start on the outer corner and I just want to make sure that I see all the lashes in there before I go towards the inner corner. So yeah, I'm just making sure that all those lashes are in there. And once I see that all the lashes are in, then I'm going to go ahead and tip the eyelash curler up just a little bit. And then I pump it about 10 times or so. And there you have it. And as you can see, compared to this eye, this one looks much more lifted. It looks much more open, and because the lashes aren't way down here where my lash line stops, they're kind of up a little bit more, it's actually creating the illusion of a more lifted eye. I'm going to go ahead and put my falsies on my other eye and do my bottom mascara, and then I'll be right back. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys, and that those of you that have been really struggling with putting on false eyelashes, especially those of you with downturned eyes, feel a little bit enlightened now. When I first started putting my falsies on, I could easily spend 15 minutes on one eye. It just takes practice. I've watched so many different tutorials on how to apply false lashes, and I'll be honest with you, some of them helped me, some of them didn't, because my eye shape is different. So those of you that have a unique eye shape understand the dilemma, and really, like I said, I am no expert. I just am wanting to share what I do because it has been helpful for me to be able to do them a lot quicker, a lot easier, and not have the issue of having them pop up throughout the day. I've done a winged liner tutorial for downturned eyes and hooded lids, and I've done a smoky eyeshadow technique for downturned eyes and hooded lids, so I will link them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more videos like this, as well as fun makeup tutorials, unboxing videos, and more. And yeah, I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.